Hello tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another video. Today I just want to quickly show you some 10mm League of Augsburg figures that is my project at the moment, if I can get my words out. These are a couple of £6 guns. The figures and the guns are Pendragon. They're on MDF bases with a magnet, and I've put magnets at the bottom of them. I've tried to mix the gun crew figures up slightly in the sense of what they're wearing, you know, colours I should say, rather than what they're wearing. I've done the guns in a natural wood, quite bright to make them stand out obviously at this scale, and as usual with this project everything's, I say it's non-metallic metal. It's not obviously true NMM. It's just, you know, brushes of different brass-looking tones for the barrel there, and obviously metal for the officer's spittoon there. I've noticed I've still got sand all over the place, so that'll need a better brushing. But yeah, that's a £6 gun, and obviously this is his mate here. More or less the same. As I say, I've tried to give slight variations to the figures on the base and the colours. So that's my Jacobite artillery, but to be honest with you, it can stand for Williamite artillery as well. So that's the artillery. I've got these couple of commanders, which I'll hasten to getting shot. No names to these commanders, and the size of my Jacobite army at the moment, they could well just be colonels. This one's got a nice breastplate on. Again, I've tried to do fairly bright colours for the horses, if that's if that makes sense when one's black. Again, lots of big wigs on show. A few of me little flower tufts that I make on that flop box. Again, another guy here. Again, these are generic commanders. You know, you could use them for any side. So you could just as well see them in my Williamite army as the Jacobite, but for now these are Jacobite commanders. So that's these guys. And again, all the bases are magnetised. Now I've made these part of me artillery park. Got two, if I can get the other one in shot. Hang on a second. I've got these ox wagons. These are actually Boer War or Zulu War ox wagons from Pendragon. And I've you know, I've just made them out to be for the 1690s period. I do grant you the one at the top here, it does look like he's carrying a bunch of grapes. They're slightly oversized cannonballs, so we're going to call these siege mortar balls, because they do look like a big bunch of grapes on the back. I've used some green stuff obviously to make them, and then put some green stuff down just to make it look like they're sitting on some straw. The bullocks, or oxen I should say. I've tried to go quite bold with the highlights, which doesn't always work on a close-up, but they seem to work well on the on a long view. For some strange reason, Pendragon don't actually do anybody, you know, that you can plonk on the seat. And although you might say, well, Boer War, Zulu War, but they've still got floppy hats, and they would have worked in. I was expecting some type of driver, and normally they'd have somebody walking along the side of them as well, but that wasn't to be the case. So I've just stuck a couple of, as usual, you'll see these figures dotted all over my scenic type bases, and that's I usually use the pikeman to look as if he's, like in this case, he's trying to hold the brake of the oxen cart. And then this guy here, let's get him up. The guy with the fork there, the hay fork, he's actually an English Civil War figure from Pendragon. I was trying to use some of their civilian ranges to mix in, and that's just got, although these are for the artillery park, I can use them for for obviously supply convoys or whatever. And this guy's got some, they've almost unloaded all the grain on the back. Again, I just did a very rough splodge of green stuff to make out like sacks of grain or oats or something. And again, some of the oxen, they look like they've been camouflaged with the different colours of white I've used. But I've tried to make very stark contrasts, and it does work when they're obviously sat down on because of the smallness of the figures. It works when they're sat down on the table. So thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. And I hope everything's going okay with your projects. You're not too stalled on them. This one's finally getting some traction at last. So I've got these completed now. I've actually, at the moment, I've decided, as long as the Saxon Commission I'm painting, I'm going to keep a few regiments of Jacobites cleaned up and on lolly sticks, and I can just reach down and put a bit of spare paint on them. So it can take anything up to 3 weeks to get one tiny regiment done, but it's a bit of progress. So I've actually got Fitzgerald's regiment just ready for flocking, so that's going well. And I've got 2 more parts to the artillery park, which are going to be flocked as well. So yeah, I think everything's getting ready now to do some terrain for a bit of a small battle. So I think after I've done this bit of flocking, I'm going to do some of the buildings I bought from Battle Scale. Probably mount them on some type of, whether on this one I've got this cork out, as well as to make my table look a bit cleaner for you guys when I'm showing you something. But I'm thinking of actually using the cork tile when it's cut smaller. It should be quite sturdy. We'll see for that one. So thank you very much again for stopping by. Sorry I'm blabbering again. I do tend to go off on tangents. I will catch you again on another vid. I haven't forgotten the bit of a tutorial I was doing on the Italian figure. It's just I haven't had time to properly sit down and do the next bit. You know, as I paint them, I don't really edit them, so it just takes a bit of time. So within the next 4 or 5 days, I should have this second part of that painted and up to have a look at. So thanks a lot, guys, and I will catch you again on another vid. Cheers.